Hello there, and thank you for tuning on to another episode of our Scripture Breakdown Ministry. My name is David Abraham, and our scripture for today comes from Proverbs 1, verse 2, and it says, "The tongue of the wise uses knowledge rightly, but the mouth of fools pours forth foolishness." I repeat, the tongue of the wise uses knowledge rightly, but the mouth of fools pours forth foolishness. Now, I want to divide the scripture into two parts. And first and foremost, I like to say and generally reiterate or throw more light into the tongue. The tongue is in James, the Bible describes the tongue as something that is small but could cause great destruction. The Bible in James speaks about being able to bridle your tongue. The tongue is little, but it can cause havoc. The tongue can cause destruction if not controlled. And also in the scripture, it says, "The tongue of the wise uses knowledge rightly." Now, using knowledge rightly, the tongue of the wise using knowledge rightly speaks about spoken words, speaks about the ability to have a decent conversation, speaks about the ability to interact with people, public relations, people relations, customer service, being able to use your cultural intelligence to interact with people, meeting new people, being able to speak politely, being able to speak with diplomacy, being able to relate, being able to strike a conversation, camaraderie among friendship, among brethren, being able to use wisdom at every point in time, giving a soft and definite answer, giving a sensible answer, know when to give an abrupt answer which ends a matter, and knowing when to be diplomatic, knowing when to speak and when not to speak, knowing when to listen and when not to listen, knowing when to throw in a little argument and knowing when not to speak, knowing when to interrupt and when not to interrupt. So the tongue is what speaks. As we show these mannerisms, that the tongue of the wise uses knowledge rightly. So whatever knowledge you've acquired, when you sit down among people, among a congregation, among brethren, or be it you are given a position to speak in public, you are able to relate your message succinctly. You are able to relate your message with sense, with wisdom, with understanding, and with experience. You're able to speak in a manner that people appreciate, that people do not feel offended, that people do not see you as rude, that people are able to respect you, that people are able to admire you. The tongue of the wise uses knowledge rightly. That is wisdom. So wisdom and knowledge and mental ability, you are able to juggle it all together to portray wisdom as you speak with your tongue. Then the second bit says, "But the mouth of fools pours forth foolishness." Now, who is a fool? A fool is somebody that's not wise. And therefore, a fool speaks foolishness. So if you lack wisdom in your heart and you lack the ability to use common sense or being able to put two and two together, or lack the ability to speak succinctly or speak with decorum, with respect, speak with culture, speak like a learned person, the ability, if you lack the ability not to relate, or not relating with people in a polite manner, if you lack the ability of speaking anyhow, if you lack the ability of speaking, of not speaking in a right and socially, culturally, and universally acceptable manner, then one can be referred to as foolish. And therefore, if one is a fool, he pours out foolishness. He just talks without putting two and two together. He just talks without decorum, without curtailing the tongue, without bridling the tongue. So he speaks forth as what he sees, without thinking, without construction, without structure. So he said, but the mouth of a fool pours out foolishness. So this is what the Bible speaks about foolishness. This is what the Bible speaks about pouring out foolishness. When whatever the fool says does not make sense, it becomes foolishness. Whatever the fool does not say, it becomes foolishness. So what are we saying? We speak about the situation. We speak about the foolishness of somebody that speaks foolishly. Now, I want to pray that God gives us the thing, that God gives us that gift of wisdom speaking, that gift of being able to speak with common sense, or bridling our tongue, that wisdom of being able to speak well.